Imagine waking up to a sky the same color but a breath that feels sharper, almost electric, because every inhale is now pure oxygen. That first 10 seconds would grab you. Air that heals in hospitals, suddenly everywhere, and yet quietly, dangerously different. Hold that image, a clean, bright world, and keep it, because the truth is both simpler and far scarier. Right now, air has about 21% oxygen. The rest is mostly nitrogen and tiny amounts of carbon dioxide. Swap all that for 100% oxygen at the same pressure, and our planet would look familiar, but behave like a stranger. Humans would start to feel the effects surprisingly fast, within hours to days, because our bodies evolved for 21% oxygen. Lungs would complain first, coughing, chest pain, and difficulty breathing as oxygen damages delicate lung tissue. The brain would follow, with very high oxygen partial pressure. Some people suffer dizziness, visual changes, twitching, even sudden seizures. Fire, which we think of as dangerous now, would become a daily terror. Flames ignite easier, burn hotter, and spread without mercy. Think of the Apollo 1 disaster. A single spark in a pure oxygen cabin turned into a killing inferno. On Earth, the risk is multiplied across cities and forests. Materials that are normally safe, clothing, furniture, electronics, insulation, become far more flammable. Even a lit cigarette becomes an act of arson. Now imagine plants and crops trying to do their job with zero carbon dioxide and no nitrogen in the air. Photosynthesis needs carbon dioxide. Without it, plants can't make sugars, trees stop growing, and crops fail. Nitrogen in the atmosphere isn't just filler. It's the raw material for the nitrogen cycle that builds proteins and sustains food chains. Remove atmospheric nitrogen and ecosystems collapse because the balance of soil, microbes, and plant life is thrown into chaos. Seas might initially seem safer. Deep ocean life is somewhat buffered. But surface ecosystems, fisheries, and coastal communities would suffer quickly. The short-term picture: fires erupting in urban areas, hospitals overwhelmed by oxygen-caused lung damage, crops wilting in fields. Here's the shocking sentence in the middle. Within weeks, millions could die not from a single catastrophe, but from air itself becoming a medical and mechanical hazard. Longer term, the planet's chemistry shifts. Oxygen reacts more aggressively with metals and organic matter, accelerating corrosion and breakdown. Weather and climate wouldn't change overnight, but the loss of plants and soil stability would alter precipitation patterns and carbon cycling over years. Human society would scramble to adapt. Oxygen-safe enclaves, strict fire protocols, buildings redesigned with non-flammable materials, and new air systems. But adaptation has limits. Breathing 100% oxygen at normal pressure causes chronic damage. You can't live on it indefinitely without consequences. Some technologies might help. Pressurized habitats with mixed gases, chemical scrubbers that add nitrogen or CO2, but scaling that to billions of people is a Herculean task. Wildlife would fare worse. Many terrestrial animals would suffer from the same toxicity and habitat loss that humans would. Collapsing food webs. Microbes in some marine life could persist, and extremophiles might thrive, but the familiar web of life would be unrecognizable. There's an ironic twist. Oxygen is life-giving at the right amount. Yet in excess, it becomes a slow-acting poison and a fast-acting incendiary. The emotional twist is darker. A world that once symbolized breath and freedom becomes a place where every flame and every inhale is a risk. Yet human ingenuity often finds a way. History shows we redesign cities, invent materials, and rewrite rules when survival demands it. The final takeaway is simple and haunting. Life depends not just on oxygen, but on delicate balances. Nitrogen, carbon dioxide, pressure, the invisible scaffolding of habitability. If you could change one small thing to avoid this nightmare, It would be the reminder that tiny percentages in the air matter far more than we imagine. So the next time you take a normal, boring breath, think about how extraordinary that mix of gases really is. If Earth's atmosphere ever tilted even a little, the difference between a garden and an inferno could be a single percentage point. This thought experiment isn't just sci-fi. It's a lesson in how fragile planetary habitability is and how careful we must be with the systems that sustain us. If you found this scary, fascinating, or both, share it with someone who loves weird science thought experiments. And hey, like and subscribe for more brain-bending hypotheticals and clear, simple science explained.